I've been thinking for years about starting my own firm, going out on my own and starting a new legal practice. And I think the number one thing holding me back was fear. Fear of several different kinds. Fear that I wouldn't be able to bring in clients, that I wouldn't be publicly successful, fear that I wouldn't be financially successful, fear that I would become a financial burden to my wife and to my family. And one of the things that going through the HTM bootcamp really helped me get comfortable with is understanding that a law firm is just a business. And if a business has a strong foundation and a strong plan and a pathway forward, that it will be successful if you do the things to make it successful. And so going through the HTM bootcamp allowed me to push a lot of those fears to the side. Maybe they didn't go away completely, but allowed me to push them to the side and see the path forward and take the leap. And I'm so glad that it did. In just those 4 weeks of the boot camp, it became incredibly obvious that there was a lot of information I needed about how to run a law firm profitably that I didn't have, and how to manage debt. And so it only made sense to continue to, have a relationship with HTM to get that information that I knew I needed. When you ask if I had any resistance to the coaching or ideas presented by HTM and the HTM team in the boot camp and in the trainings later on, I think the answer is obviously yes. If people tell you new things that are going to be hard and time consuming and uncomfortable, your body's natural reaction is to be apprehensive about it and to try to reject them. And so I think a really important part of being an HTM is trying to shift your mindset to being receptive to uncomfortable ideas, and the idea that you are going to be uncomfortable for a certain amount of time while you take your law firm from where it is today to where it needs to be as a business that works for you. Mindset, and especially shifts in mindset, have been incredibly important to my growth, both as a person and as the owner of a law firm. I think if you had asked me a year or two ago if I would be comfortable, working closely with what I would have formerly called competitors and collaborating on marketing ideas and legal issues, I would have been really apprehensive to that, because I saw business as a zero-sum game. And I think through HTM and their resources and the community within HTM, I've really been able to shift my mindset to one of abundance and understanding that there's not a finite number of clients out there for us, that there's enough legal work for everybody, and that everyone benefits by collaborating and working together. If you're considering joining the HTM Bootcamp or one of HTM's other programs, and you're kind of on the fence about it, I would really encourage you to try to focus on your why, and think about why it is that you either want to start your own law firm, or that you want to take the law firm you already have and build it into something bigger and that works for you and your lifestyle better, and consider whether HTM can help you get to the point that you want to be at. And I'd really encourage you to consider the fact that there are literally hundreds of other law firms out there that HTM has helped do exactly that. And, consider the old adage that if it's not broke, don't fix it. And just follow in the path of those who went before you, and take the steps necessary to make a great choice for you and your family. Before quitting my job, starting my firm, and joining HTM, I was stuck in the same corporate law firm job that I think a lot of people feel stuck in, where, I commuted 45 minutes back and forth to downtown every day. I had to be there from 8 to 6. I missed a lot of soccer practices and school performances and parties, just because I felt like I didn't have the flexibility to leave and be there for those kinds of things. And so my number one goal with leaving that life and starting my own firm was to make sure that I didn't have to miss those things anymore. And then I did have the flexibility from a time perspective to schedule my day as I see fit. And if I want to leave in the middle of the day to grab my kids for lunch, then I can do that. And if I want to coach my kids' soccer team, not just go to the games, I can do that. And you don't really have the freedom to do that in a huge firm context. And so starting my own firm and using HTM to help me do that was really my exit strategy. My life now compared to my life at my previous firm is immeasurably better. And it's not because I work even a single minute less. If anything, I probably work more, but I work when I want and I work on what I want. And a lot of the work that I'm doing is not just legal work, it's the work of building a business and building the law firm that will pay larger dividends in the future. And so instead of just doing the work that's given to me, I'm doing the work that will build a better financial future for my family. And that feels good, number one, and it also lets you know that, there's a future that may not require so much work. And so now I can, work to live instead of live to work, as they say, and make sure that no matter how much I'm working, that it doesn't hurt my family life or hurt my relationship with my wife and kids. And that's really important to me.